What if the secret to a luxury garden isn't in a store, but in your trash bin and your kitchen pantry? Most people fail at propagation because they ignore the power of simple rice and garlic. Today, I'm showing you how to achieve a 900% faster rooting rate while turning old tires and bottles into high-end landscape art. This isn't just gardening, it's a revolution for your backyard. Welcome to Home and Garden Borneo. Today's journey is all about smart upcycling and elite propagation hacks. I've included timestamps in the description, so feel free to jump to the project that inspires you most. If you feel creative today, use what you already have and start building. I know I might be just another face on your screen, but behind these frames, there is a real story and a real family. This content is a piece of my heart. Every like and every comment truly matters here. When you subscribe, you aren't just following a channel. You are keeping a dream alive and giving a small family hope, one click at a time. Thank you for truly seeing me. One, rice-infused glass bottle terrarium Steks. Today, I'm going to show you a secret that will change the way you propagate your favorite flowers forever. Have you ever thought that a simple glass bottle from your trash and a handful of kitchen rice could be the key to a 900% faster rooting process? In this beautiful English vintage garden setting, we are taking upcycling to the next level. By using a clean, recycled glass bottle, we create a miniature greenhouse effect that maintains perfect humidity. But the real magic lies in the rice. Rice provides a mild, nutrient-rich environment that encourages young roots to sprout almost instantly. Look at how the light hits this simple setup. It's not just a gardening hack, it's a piece of art for your backyard. We've paired this with a stunning backdrop of blooming perennials and a thriving vegetable patch to show you that a beautiful garden doesn't have to be expensive. It just needs a bit of creativity and the right organic stimulants like garlic and rice. Don't blink, because these roots will appear faster than you think. If you love turning trash into garden treasure, make sure to stay until the end. Two, antique teacup rose propagation station. Have you ever looked at an old, chipped teacup and thought about throwing it away? Well, don't. Today, I'm showing you how to turn these antique treasures into the ultimate propagation station for your roses. In this beautiful English vintage garden, we are combining the elegance of the past with a genius gardening hack that will make your neighbors jealous. We've treated our rose cuttings with a simple rub of garlic to prevent rot and placed them into these colorful, hand-painted teacups filled with a nutrient-rich rice and sand mixture. It's a method that stimulates roots to grow 900% faster. This isn't just about growing plants. It's about adding a touch of artistic charm to your backyard. Look at how the vibrant colors of the teacup pop against the lush greenery and the ripening strawberries in the background. It feels like a scene from a professional film, but it's something you can easily do at home. By upcycling these small items, we create a sustainable and beautiful environment for our young plants to thrive. Stick around as we transform more garden waste into stunning masterpieces. Three, colorful tire planter with central bamboo trellis. Today, we are taking a common piece of waste, an old car tire, and turning it into a vibrant, high-functioning masterpiece for your backyard. This isn't just about painting a tire. It's about creating a perfect environment for your climbing plants like grapes or roses to thrive. In this beautiful French garden setting, we've painted our tire with bright, eye-catching colors to add a splash of joy to the landscape. But look closer at the center. We've installed a sustainable bamboo trellis. By adding a simple mixture of rice and sand at the base, we provide the essential nutrients that help these cuttings root up to 900% faster. It's a genius hack that combines upcycling with professional gardening secrets. As the summer sun shines over our vegetable patch and blooming perennials, this colorful tire stands out as a focal point. It shows that with a little creativity, you can transform trash into a treasure that looks like it belongs in a professional landscape design. Stay tuned as we show you how to assemble this step by step to make your garden the trendsetter of the neighborhood. Four, plastic bottle vertical self-watering succulent wall. Let's talk about that pile of plastic bottles in your recycling bin. Instead of throwing them out, we're transforming them into a breathtaking vertical sanctuary for your succulents. In this sun-soaked French garden, these bottles have been given a new life with a splash of bright, artistic paint, making them a focal point of the backyard. The secret to this self-watering setup is the nutrient-rich rice water and sand mixture we use at the base of each cutting. It's a genius propagation hack that stimulates roots to grow almost instantly while keeping the plants hydrated during the peak of summer. Notice how the vivid colors of the bottles contrast beautifully with the natural greenery of the vegetable patch and the ripening tomatoes in the distance. This project is the perfect example of how upcycling can be both eco-friendly and incredibly high-end in its aesthetic. It's not just a DIY project. It's a professional landscape solution for small spaces. By the time you finish this setup, your garden will be the trendsetter for sustainable beauty. Let's dive into how you can achieve this 900% growth rate at home. 5. Driftwood rooting station with garlic rubbed cuttings. Imagine taking a piece of nature's debris and turning it into the most sophisticated propagation tool in your backyard. This driftwood rooting station is the ultimate marriage between organic art and high-growth gardening. In this expansive English vintage garden, we've used the natural curves of the wood to hold our colorful, upcycled glass jars, creating a focal point that looks like a high-end sculpture. But the real secret is the preparation. Each cutting has been rubbed with fresh garlic to act as a natural antibacterial shield. And we're using a nutrient-rich rice and sand medium to trigger that 900% root growth. It's a professional-level propagation hack that works incredibly well for Bougainvillea and roses. As you look around this summer landscape, notice how the weathered wood and the bright, hand-painted jars pop against the vibrant backdrop of ripening raspberries and blooming foxgloves. This isn't just about starting new plants. It's about elevating your garden's aesthetic while being completely eco-friendly. By the time the roots emerge, you'll have a stunning piece of garden art that's also a powerhouse for plant production. Let's see how this natural masterpiece comes together. Six, rustic metal drum potato tower. Have you ever looked at a rusty old oil drum and seen a hidden garden treasure? Today, we're taking that piece of scrap metal and turning it into a high-yield potato tower that's as beautiful as it is functional. In this expansive French garden, we've given this drum a new life with a vibrant, multicolored paint job that instantly elevates the look of the entire backyard. The magic behind this vertical growth isn't just the space-saving design. We've incorporated a layer of kitchen rice within our soil and sand mixture to create a nutrient-rich environment that stimulates root systems to grow 900% faster than traditional methods. It's a professional-level hack that turns a simple metal drum into a powerhouse of production. Notice how the glossy, painted finish of the drum shines under the summer sun, contrasting perfectly with the surrounding lavender and the ripening strawberries nearby. This project proves that you don't need an expensive greenhouse to grow a massive amount of food. You just need a bit of creativity and the right organic stimulants like rice and garlic. By the time harvest comes, you'll have a bounty of potatoes and a piece of garden art that will make your neighbors stop and stare. Let's get started on this transformation. Seven, vintage colander hanging flower basket. Ever wondered what to do with that old, rusted colander hidden in the back of your kitchen cabinet? Instead of tossing it, We're giving it a vibrant new life as a high-end hanging basket that will steal the spotlight in your backyard. In this sun-drenched French garden, these colanders have been transformed with a splash of artistic paint, turning a simple kitchen tool into a professional-grade planter. The beauty of using a colander is its natural drainage, but the real secret to these flourishing flowers is our special propagation hack. By mixing a handful of kitchen rice into our soil and sand medium, we create a nutrient boost that stimulates root systems to develop 900% faster. It's a genius way to ensure your cascading flowers are healthy and vibrant all through the peak of summer. Notice how the bright, multicolored finish of the metal pops against the lush greenery and the ripening strawberries in the distance. This project is a perfect example of how upcycling can be both eco-friendly and incredibly aesthetic. By the time your petunias are in full bloom, you'll have a unique piece of garden art that's both sustainable and stunning. Let's dive into how you can make your garden the trendsetter of the neighborhood with this simple trick. Rice water fountain with upcycled water jugs. What if your garden fountain didn't just provide a relaxing sound, but also fed your plants at the same time? Today, we're transforming old, forgotten water jugs into a stunning, nutrient-dispensing fountain. In this expansive French garden, these jugs have been given a high-end makeover with vibrant, artistic paint, making them a centerpiece of the backyard. The secret to this living fountain is the use of rice water. Instead of throwing away the water you used to wash your kitchen rice, we're recycling it here. This milky water is packed with minerals that act as a natural fertilizer, stimulating root systems to grow 900% faster when it reaches your garden beds. It's a professional-level propagation and maintenance hack that turns a simple water feature into a powerhouse of plant health. Notice how the colorful finish of the jugs glows under the summer sun, contrasting beautifully with the surrounding lavender and the ripening strawberries nearby. This project is the perfect example of how upcycling and organic gardening secrets can come together to create something truly unique. By the time your vegetables and flowers drink from this fountain, you'll have a garden that's the trendsetter for both beauty and sustainability. Let's see how this genius setup works. Mosaic broken tile seedling tray. Have you ever broken a favorite plate or tile and felt like your day was ruined? Don't throw those pieces away. Today, we are turning trash into a professional-grade mosaic seedling tray that looks like it belongs in a high-end art gallery. In this sprawling English vintage garden, we've taken those colorful ceramic fragments and created a stunning, functional home for our new plant cuttings. This isn't just about the beautiful exterior. Inside each mosaic compartment, we've placed our secret rooting medium, a precise blend of sand and kitchen rice. This combination provides the perfect drainage and organic boost that triggers root development to happen 900% faster. It's a genius way to propagate everything from roses to Bougainvillea while adding a permanent splash of artistic color to your backyard. Notice how the sunlight dances off the glazed tile pieces, contrasting perfectly with the ripening raspberries and the deep green of the vegetable patch. This project is the ultimate example of how upcycling and smart gardening can merge to create a trend-setting masterpiece. By the time your cuttings are ready to be transplanted, you'll have a durable, artistic tool that will last for years. Let's dive into the process of creating this mosaic magic. Bohemian Macrame bottle hanger for herb propagation. Ever thought about how those empty glass bottles could become a stunning vertical herb garden? Today, we're blending Bohemian art with a high-growth propagation secret that will elevate your backyard. In this sun-kissed French garden, we've taken simple recycled bottles, given them a splash of translucent color, and suspended them in these beautiful, hand-knotted macrame hangers. This setup isn't just for looks. Each herb cutting has been treated with a quick rub of garlic to keep it healthy, and we're using a specialized mixture of sand and kitchen rice inside the bottles. This organic combination is a professional-level hack that triggers root development to happen 900% faster. It's a genius way to grow fresh mint, basil, or rosemary while adding a touch of artistic flair to your outdoor space. Notice how the colorful glass and the soft texture of the macrame contrast perfectly with the ripening tomatoes and the blooming lavender in the distance. This project proves that upcycling doesn't have to look cheap. It can be incredibly high-end and functional. By the time these roots take hold, you'll have a trend-setting herb station that's both sustainable and breathtaking. Let's get started on this Bohemian transformation. Painted rubber boot flower pots. Ever thought about how those old, leaky rubber boots could become the most charming part of your garden? Instead of tossing them out, we're giving them a vibrant new life as high-end, whimsical planters. In this sun-soaked French garden, these boots have been transformed with a splash of artistic paint, turning a simple piece of footwear into a professional-grade garden feature. The secret to these flourishing flowers isn't just the unique container. We've treated our cuttings with a quick rub of garlic to prevent rot and placed them into a nutrient-rich rice and sand mixture inside the boots. This organic combination is a professional-level hack that triggers root development to happen 900% faster. It's a genius way to propagate your favorite plants while adding a touch of artistic flair to your outdoor space. Notice how the bright, multicolored finish of the rubber pops against the lush greenery and the ripening strawberries in the distance. This project is a perfect example of how upcycling can be both eco-friendly and incredibly aesthetic. By the time your flowers are in full bloom, you'll have a unique piece of garden art that's both sustainable and stunning. Let's dive into how you can make your garden the trendsetter of the neighborhood with this simple trick. Upcycled wooden pallet berry wall. What if that old, discarded wooden pallet in your garage could become a high-end, vertical berry wall? Today, we're taking this common piece of waste and turning it into a productive masterpiece. In this sun-kissed French garden, we've given this palette a complete makeover with vibrant, artistic paint, making it a professional-grade focal point for the backyard. The secret to this vertical abundance isn't just the space-saving design. We've incorporated a layer of kitchen rice within our sand and soil mixture to create a nutrient-rich environment that stimulates root systems to grow 900% faster. It's a genius hack that ensures your strawberries and raspberries take hold almost instantly. Each cutting was also treated with a garlic rub to prevent any bacterial rot, ensuring a 100% success rate. Notice how the colorful finish of the wood pops against the lush greenery and the ripening fruit. This project is the perfect example of how upcycling can be both sustainable and incredibly aesthetic. By the time the summer ends, you'll have a wall dripping with fresh berries and a piece of garden art that makes you a true trendsetter. Let's see how we assemble this vertical wonder. Tin can herb garden with rustic twig edging. Ever thought about how those empty soup cans could become the most charming part of your kitchen garden? Instead of tossing them out, we're giving them a vibrant new life as high-end, rustic planters. In this sun-soaked French garden, these cans have been transformed with a splash of artistic paint and natural twig edging, turning simple kitchen waste into a professional-grade garden feature. The secret to these flourishing herbs isn't just the unique container. We've treated our cuttings with a quick rub of garlic to prevent rot and placed them into a nutrient-rich rice and sand mixture inside the cans. This organic combination is a professional-level hack that triggers root development to happen 900% faster. It's a genius way to propagate your favorite herbs while adding a touch of artistic flair to your outdoor space. Notice how the bright, multicolored finish of the metal pops against the rustic twigs and the lush greenery of the vegetable patch. This project is a perfect example of how upcycling can be both eco-friendly and incredibly aesthetic. By the time your herbs are ready for harvest, you'll have a unique piece of garden art that's both sustainable and stunning. Let's dive into how you can make your garden the trendsetter of the neighborhood with this simple trick. Glass Lightbulb Air Plant Terrarium. Have you ever wondered what to do with those burnt-out light bulbs? Instead of tossing them in the trash, we're giving them a brilliant second life as high-end, hanging terrariums. In this sprawling English vintage garden, these bulbs have been transformed with a splash of artistic paint on their bases, turning everyday waste into a professional-grade focal point. The secret to keeping these air plants thriving in such a small space is our signature propagation blend. We've placed a layer of kitchen rice and sand at the bottom to act as a natural moisture regulator and nutrient source. This genius hack ensures your plants stay healthy and vibrant, even in the heat of summer. It's a professional-level way to add vertical interest to your backyard without spending a fortune. Notice how the sunlight reflects off the glass, making these bulbs look like floating gems against the backdrop of ripening raspberries and blooming foxgloves. This project is a perfect example of how upcycling can be both eco-friendly and incredibly high-end in its aesthetic. By the time you finish this setup, your garden will be the trendsetter for sustainable, artistic design. Let's see how we can turn your old bulbs into this luminous garden treasure. Antique Ladder Raspberry Trellis. Ever seen an old, rickety ladder and thought it was just firewood? Today, we're rescuing a piece of history and turning it into a professional-grade vertical trellis for our summer berries. In this expansive French garden, this antique ladder has been given a complete artistic makeover with a splash of vibrant paint, transforming it into a high-end focal point that saves space while looking absolutely stunning. But the real magic happens at the base of each new vine. We've used our signature propagation secret, a nutrient-rich mixture of sand and kitchen rice. This organic blend stimulates the root systems of our raspberry cuttings to develop 900% faster than traditional soil alone. By treating each stem with a touch of garlic to prevent disease, we ensure these berries climb their new colorful home with incredible vigor. Notice how the bright finish of the wood contrasts with the deep red of the ripening raspberries and the soft purple of the surrounding lavender. This project is the perfect example of how upcycling can elevate a backyard from ordinary to extraordinary. By the time the summer harvest hits its peak, you'll have a wall of fruit and a piece of garden art that makes you a true trendsetter. Let's build this vertical berry haven together. Colorful PVC pipe vertical strawberry tower. What if I told you that a piece of leftover plumbing pipe could become the most productive and most beautiful part of your garden? Today, we're taking standard PVC and giving it a high-end, artistic makeover. In this expansive French garden, This pipe has been transformed with a splash of vibrant, multicolored paint, turning industrial waste into a professional-grade vertical strawberry tower. The secret to this explosion of berries isn't just the space-saving design. Inside the pipe, we've used our signature rooting medium, a precise blend of sand and kitchen rice. This combination creates a nutrient-rich environment that stimulates the strawberry runners to develop root systems 900% faster. By adding a touch of garlic to the planting holes, we keep the roots healthy and free from rot, even in the humid summer heat. Notice how the glossy, colorful finish of the tower pops against the lush greenery of the vegetable patch and the blooming lavender nearby. This project is the ultimate example of how smart upcycling can maximize your harvest in even the smallest backyard. By the time the berries turn bright red, you'll have a vertical garden that's the absolute trendsetter of the neighborhood. Let's build this colorful strawberry haven. "17. Rusty Garden Tool Wall Art with Climbing Vines." Have you ever looked at a pile of broken, rusty garden tools and thought they were ready for the scrap heap? Today, we're rescuing these pieces of history and turning them into a professional-grade vertical trellis that looks like high-end wall art. In this expansive English vintage garden, we've given these shovels and rakes a complete artistic makeover with a splash of vibrant, multicolored paint, transforming trash into a stunning focal point. The real magic happens where the new vines meet the metal. We've treated our climbing plant cuttings with a quick rub of garlic to keep them healthy and placed them into a nutrient-rich rice and sand mixture inside small jars attached to the handles. This organic combination is a professional-level hack that triggers root development to happen 900% faster. It's a genius way to propagate your favorite climbers while adding a touch of artistic flair to your garden walls. Notice how the bright, glossy finish of the tools pops against the rustic wood and the ripening raspberries in the distance. This project is the ultimate example of how upcycling can elevate a backyard from ordinary to extraordinary. By the time the vines cover these colorful tools, you'll have a living masterpiece that makes you a true trendsetter. Let's get started on this artistic transformation. "18. Gabion bench with integrated flower bed." Ever thought about how cold, gray stones could become the most vibrant part of your backyard? Today, we're taking the industrial look of a Gabion bench and giving it a high-end, artistic soul. In this expansive French garden, we've hand-painted these stones in a kaleidoscope of colors, transforming a simple seating area into a professional-grade garden masterpiece that looks like it belongs in a luxury resort. But there's more than meets the eye. Tucked within this stone structure is a secret propagation station. We've treated our perennial flower cuttings with a quick rub of garlic and placed them into a nutrient-rich rice and sand mixture hidden within the bench. This organic combination is a professional-level hack that triggers root development to happen 900% faster. It's a genius way to grow your garden literally from the seat where you relax. Notice how the bright, multicolored stones pop against the lush greenery of the vegetable patch and the ripening tomatoes in the distance. This project is a perfect example of how upcycling natural materials can be both eco-friendly and incredibly high-end. By the time your flowers are in full bloom, you'll have a unique piece of functional garden art that's both sustainable and stunning. Let's dive into how you can make your garden the trendsetter of the neighborhood with this solid masterpiece. Upcycled wine box seedling station. Have you ever wondered what to do with those beautiful old wine boxes? Instead of letting them gather dust, we're giving them a brilliant second life as a high-end seedling station. In this sprawling English vintage garden, these wooden boxes have been transformed with a splash of artistic, vibrant paint, turning simple storage into a professional-grade focal point for your backyard. This isn't just about the aesthetics. Inside these boxes, we've used our signature propagation secret, a precise blend of sand and kitchen rice. This combination creates a nutrient-rich environment that stimulates the young roots to develop 900% faster. By treating our seeds and cuttings with a touch of garlic to prevent disease, we ensure these plants get the best possible start in their new colorful home. Notice how the bright finish of the wood contrasts with the lush greenery and the ripening raspberries in the distance. This project is the ultimate example of how upcycling can be both eco-friendly and incredibly high-end. By the time these seedlings are ready for transplanting, you'll have a portable, artistic tool that makes you a true trendsetter. Let's dive into how you can turn your old boxes into this garden treasure. Plastic soda bottle greenhouse for Bougainvillea. Ever thought about how a simple soda bottle could become the most powerful tool in your propagation kit? Today, we're upcycling these everyday plastic items into high-end mini greenhouses that guarantee a 900% faster rooting success for your Bougainvillea. In this expansive French garden, we've given these bottles a professional makeover with vibrant, artistic paint on the caps, turning common waste into a stunning, functional garden feature. The secret to this cloche method is the stable internal humidity it creates. But the real magic lies beneath the surface. Each Bougainvillea cutting has been rubbed with garlic to prevent rot and placed in our specialized mixture of sand and kitchen rice. This organic combination provides the exact nutrients needed for instant root explosion. When you see the condensation forming inside the bottle, you know the magic is happening. Notice how the sunlight sparkles off the clear plastic and the colorful caps, contrasting perfectly with the surrounding lavender and the ripening strawberries nearby. This project is a masterclass in how smart upcycling can elevate your gardening game to a professional level. By the time you lift these bottles, you'll have a forest of new plants and a garden that's the absolute trendsetter for eco-friendly design. Let's build these mini wonders together. Brick Revival Herb Spiral. Ever wondered what to do with that pile of old bricks sitting in the corner of your yard? Today, we're rescuing those forgotten pieces of clay and turning them into a professional-grade herb spiral that's as functional as it is breathtaking. In this expansive French garden, we've given these bricks a high-end makeover with a splash of vibrant, artistic paint, transforming a simple building material into a trend-setting garden centerpiece. The genius of the spiral design is that it creates different microclimates for your herbs, but the real secret to their explosive growth is what's hidden in the soil. We've layered our planting beds with a nutrient-rich mixture of sand and kitchen rice. This organic combination triggers the root systems of our herb cuttings to develop 900% faster. Each stem was also treated with a quick garlic rub to ensure they stay healthy and rot-free during the humid summer months. Notice how the colorful, weathered finish of the bricks pops against the deep green of the rosemary and the ripening strawberries nearby. This project is the ultimate example of how upcycling trash can lead to a sophisticated, high-yield garden. By the time you're harvesting fresh herbs for your kitchen, you'll have a permanent piece of garden art that makes you a true innovator. Let's build this spiral of life together. Whimsical Fairy House from Old Teapot. Have you ever found an old, cracked teapot and thought its pouring days were over? Instead of letting it go to waste, we're transforming it into a high-end, whimsical fairy house that doubles as a professional-grade propagation station. In this enchanting English vintage garden, this teapot has been given a vibrant new soul with artistic, multicolored paint, turning a simple kitchen item into a trend-setting masterpiece. But don't let the fairy tale look fool you. There's serious gardening science happening inside. We've filled this teapot with our secret rooting blend, a precise mixture of sand and kitchen rice. This organic combination triggers the root systems of our delicate cuttings to develop 900% faster. By rubbing the stems with a touch of garlic to keep them healthy, we ensure these plants thrive in their magical new home. Notice how the bright, glossy finish of the teapot pops against the soft textures of the surrounding foxgloves and the ripening strawberries nearby. This project is the ultimate example of how upcycling can add a touch of magic and a lot of functionality to your backyard. By the time the roots are established, you'll have a unique piece of garden art that will capture everyone's imagination. Let's dive into the world of fairy gardening with a genius twist. '23 Log Planter with Wild Berry Cultivation. Ever come across a fallen tree limb and saw nothing but debris? Today, we're reclaiming a piece of the forest and turning it into a professional-grade, high-end planter for our wild berry collection. In this sprawling English vintage garden, this natural log has been given a vibrant new life with a splash of artistic, multicolored paint, transforming a piece of waste into a stunning, trend-setting focal point. The secret to growing lush berries like mulberry and blackberry in such an organic container is what's hidden inside. We've filled the hollowed log with our signature rooting blend, a precise mixture of sand and kitchen rice. This combination triggers the root systems of our berry cuttings to develop 900% faster. By rubbing each cutting with a touch of garlic to prevent disease, we ensure these wild berries thrive in their artistic new home. Notice how the bright finish of the paint contrasts with the raw, mossy texture of the wood and the ripening fruit nearby. This project is the ultimate example of how upcycling can merge natural beauty with sophisticated gardening. By the time the summer harvest arrives, you'll have a bounty of berries and a piece of garden art that will make your backyard a true masterpiece. Let's bring this log back to life together. '24 Painted Concrete Block Vertical Veggie Garden. Ever seen a stack of grey, boring concrete blocks and thought they were just construction waste? Today, we're rescuing those heavy pieces of stone and turning them into a professional-grade vertical vegetable garden. In this expansive French garden, we've given these blocks a high-end makeover with a splash of vibrant, multicolored paint, transforming a simple industrial material into a trend-setting garden centerpiece. The genius of this modular design is that it maximizes every inch of space, but the real secret to this explosive growth is what's hidden in the compartments. We've layered our planting holes with a nutrient-rich mixture of sand and kitchen rice. This organic combination triggers the root systems of our vegetable cuttings to develop 900% faster. Each stem was also treated with a quick garlic rub to ensure they stay healthy and rot-free during the humid summer months. Notice how the colorful, geometric patterns on the concrete pop against the deep green of the kale and the ripening strawberries nearby. This project is the ultimate example of how upcycling heavy waste can lead to a sophisticated, high-yield garden. By the time you're harvesting fresh greens for your salad, you'll have a permanent piece of garden art that makes you a true innovator. Let's build this tower of life together. '25 suspended bird feeder from Upcycled kitchenware. Ever looked at a chipped pitcher or a rusty serving tray and thought their journey was over? Today, we're rescuing these kitchen cast-offs and turning them into a professional-grade, high-end bird feeder that looks like a piece of hanging art. In this sprawling English vintage garden, we've given these items a complete artistic makeover with a splash of vibrant, multicolored paint, transforming trash into a trend-setting sanctuary for local wildlife. But there's a hidden secret to this setup. We've used the outer rim of the tray to create a miniature propagation ring. By filling it with a mixture of sand and kitchen rice, we're growing small succulents that root 900% faster thanks to this organic boost. Even the bird seed is mixed with a few grains of rice to provide extra nutrients. It's a genius way to add biodiversity to your backyard while maintaining a high-end, artistic aesthetic. Notice how the bright finish of the ceramic pops against the ripening blackberries and the soft textures of the surrounding garden. This project is the ultimate example of how upcycling can be both eco-friendly and incredibly sophisticated. By the time the birds discover this colorful oasis, you'll have a living masterpiece that makes you a true innovator. Let's finish our garden transformation with this beautiful project. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me today. I hope these 25 upcycling ideas inspire you to look at trash with new eyes and a creative heart. Remember, the best gardens aren't built with the most money, but with the most love and patience. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to join our growing community. I want to hear from you. Which of these 25 projects will you try first? Drop your questions or your own garden stories in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation growing. I'll see you in the next transformation.